Good morning, fam, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be going through 9 commonly used gym terms that you may not know the definition of. This is going to make it easier to look through Instagram, find new workouts, because sometimes I'm like, oh, what does that mean? So we're going to solve that problem. All right. Let's jump in. Number 1 is a circuit. A circuit is where you move from one exercise to the next very quickly with little to no rest in between. You can do this in cardio, you can do this in weight training. There's a lot of different types of circuit training. Let me give you an example. You're doing an ab exercise, you do 30 seconds of crunches, you do 30 seconds of bikes, you do 30 seconds of leg lifts, and then you have a 30-second rest. So you're moving quickly between different exercises with no rest in between or as little as possible, followed by a small rest. And then normally people would repeat that circuit about 3 to 6 times. Our next term is HIIT, also known as high intensity interval training, in which you perform quick, intense bursts of exercise followed by short rests. HIIT is great for weight loss, so if that's one of your goals, I would highly suggest looking into it. And guess what? We have a HIIT exercise coming later. That's our Friday video, y'all, so get ready. So oftentimes these HIIT workouts are also circuits in the sense that you do 2 to 4 exercises back to back to back to back, followed by a short rest period, and then you would repeat it over and over again. It's all about having that high burst of intensity followed by a rest. So like I said, stick around, we'll have an example of that on Friday. Number 3 is a term a lot of you guys are probably familiar with because it has been so trendy in the workout world, and that is a superset. A superset workout is a personal fave. It really intensifies your workout. It's great for weight training. Let's define it. Here we go. So a superset is when you put 2 exercises back to back with little to no rest in between, and then you would follow that with a resting period. For example, I have my weights, I'm getting it, I'm getting my shoulders, living the life. Put one of those weights down, flip it over. Oh, we're getting our triceps now. No rest in between. I hope you guys are enjoying this because I feel dumb. And then we'll have like a minute-long rest. And then we'll do it again. 3 times through is the standard. Supersets are fantastic for muscle growth, so if you're trying to gain a little muscle, you better be supersetting that. Number 4 is a Tryset, and guess what? You already know what this is. It's a superset, but instead of doing 2 exercises, you do 3. Wild, right? They have a whole word for that. Insane. So, you know, we did our shoulders, we did our triceps, and then maybe we're gonna move into something else. Like, I don't know, we'll go back to the shoulders. This is a shoulder workout, apparently. Number 5 is a drop set. So for a drop set, it's exactly what it sounds like. You're gonna drop the weight every time. You begin a drop set by going to your absolute max. We're doing a bicep curl. So I'm gonna go to my absolute max. I can do maybe 1. I'm gonna come out and say that that might be 20. So I pick up the 20 and I can do 1, but I'm feeling good. So I'm gonna do 2, but that's my max, I'm done. So then I would replace that with a 15. Then I start doing my 15s. Ooh, I can get about 6 out. Nice, and then I'm feeling tired and my arm can't go up anymore. Put that back, get a 12, okay? We're dropping, we're feeling good again. 6 to 8, okay? Feeling tired, get a 10, same thing, get a 5, same thing. You have 2s, great, keep going until failure. So with each weight, you're going to go to the absolute most that you can, and then when you can't go anymore, take the next weight down and start the process over again. This is such a good way to gain some muscle, to push yourself. That's how you get stronger. I will say though, this is not an every exercise kind of thing. If you are going to implement this, I would put this at the end of your exercise as your finisher, as they call it. I would include that as a word, but it's pretty self-explanatory. The last thing you do, it's a finisher. You finish with it. Number 6, another fantastic way to gain some muscle. This is a negative rep. Now this you can use for pretty much every exercise. So what you're gonna do is slow down the eccentric movement. What does that mean? So we have our bicep curl. We're bringing it up. We're gonna bring it down nice and slow. Make it a little bit harder. And that is putting your muscles underneath of a little bit more stress, slow and controlled. That's what a negative rep is all about. Number 7 is a workout split, which is essentially just the schedule in which you work out. I did a whole video on it. It's right. I don't know what side it goes on, but check it out, you know? Learn how to make your own workout split. Self-plug. Yeah. And for my last two, I'm really bringing it back to the basics here. Number 8 is a compound movement. This is described as a multi-joint movement, a movement that uses multiple muscle groups. The best example of this is a squat, because you are using your glutes, your quads, your hamstrings, your core, your lower back, your calves. You are working that whole lower body, making it a compound movement. On the flip side of that, number 9 is an isolated movement. Isolation exercises are fantastic because you're really going to get into the core. There's no room to rely on something else. You have to rely on that muscle group. An example of this is a bicep curl, but it's also the reason that a lot of gyms have all of those machines. Those machines are set up most of the time for isolated movements. So you go in and you do that, and it's helping you really isolate one specific muscle. Great for weight training. So when working out, you do need both compound and isolated movement. There are exceptions, but normally a compound movement is going to be more for weight loss and an isolated movement is going to be more for muscle gain. So, you know, mix it up. Supersets are normally based in isolated movements, but every now and then they throw in something different, you know? You can throw in whatever you want. It's all about making yourself happy, yourself healthy. I hope you guys enjoyed this video on 9 common gym terms defined. I hope you guys learned something and that cloud of intimidation has kind of cleared away a little bit. Because I always say, you know, like, follow people on Instagram. They have good workouts. It's easy. It's free, you know? But I know that when you are going through that, sometimes they use words and phrases that you may be unfamiliar with, which makes it intimidating to actually do the workout. I was there once too, but now I'm educated. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, if you're just watching me talk still for some reason, give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and never forget to love the life you lived. Bye guys.